Live from the Duncan MacDonald Community Gardens, it's Game 7 of the Hasty Peas Cup between the Wellington Dukes and the Trenton Golden Hawks. David Foote and Lindsay Herron here with you. Glad to have you along on what is an important game in the series, Lindsay, but hockey not the most important aspect of this afternoon's contest.
Yeah, no, both teams have shown how competitive they are, but this is a day to reflect on the life and legacy of Captain Jenn Casey.
Of course, Jenn Casey killed in the Snowbirds crash back in the spring. Lots planned to celebrate her life and memory this afternoon, so we'll get right to it as we send you to our public address announcer, Tim Durkin, here at the Dunk.
Good afternoon, and welcome to Game 7 of the Hasty Peas Cup, presented by Trent Valley Distributors. The entire series is in honor of the Hastings Prince Edward Regiment and Canada's military heroes in every department. With the entire Hasty Peas Cup focusing on the great sacrifice our military women and men have gave, we not only honor those who fought bravely decades ago, but those who recently served this great nation. One of those people was Snowbird Captain Jennifer Casey. The Halifax native moved to Quinte West in 2012 with her former partner, who was in the military. She knew the sacrifice of being a family member of someone who served. She was Jen Howell during her time in radio in the area. Despite her love of journalism, she turned her focus to the military. She enlisted, did basic training, and with her broadcast background, she became a public affairs officer at Canadian Forces Base Trenton. From there, she would move on to the CF-18 demo team, and eventually, the public affairs officer for the Snowbirds. The COVID-19 pandemic gave Canadians coast-to-coast difficulties, losing business, losing loved ones, losing a normal way of life. With Casey at the forefront of the discussions, the Snowbirds team launched Operation Inspiration. The aim was to go across the country, bringing joy and Canadiana to millions. The trip included an overnight stay in the Quinte region, along with a fly-through through Prince Edward County and Quinte West in early May. Just 1 week after leaving the Quinte region, the team headed out west. On what was the wrap-up of the operation, the plane Casey and Captain Richard McDougall was in crashed shortly after taking off. 35-year-old Captain Jennifer Casey died, and McDougall received serious injury. Captain Casey died doing what she loved in the country she adored. Whether it was her time living and growing up in Halifax, moving here to the Quinte region, or being with her boyfriend, Captain Scott Boyd, also a Snowbird, she lived life to the fullest. COVID has stopped many people from being here today to celebrate and remember Captain Casey, but that did not stop them from joining us today.
My name is Captain Scott Boyd with the Royal Canadian Air Force. Jen was my absolute best friend. She was my life partner, and she was the love of my life. I can say it again, but I'm sure it's already been said many times how much she loved the game of hockey. You know, she covered the Mooseheads as a young reporter in Halifax. She would travel to Sweden to go see the World Juniors. She would organize military games in Moose Jaw with the WHL team there. And I can tell you it was our personal tradition every Saturday night. We'd watch the Habs, and then we'd stay up late and watch the Canucks play on the West Coast. And more often than not, she was a happier person than I was at the end of the night. I just want to give a big thanks to Tim for getting all of this set up. It's been awesome for the Golden Hawks, for the town, for everybody giving their support behind Jen, behind the family, behind the Snowbirds. It's just been incredible. And you know what? At the end of the day, she lived there for 6 years. She loved the city or the town of Trenton and all the surrounding areas. I mean, you know, we visited there a couple times, and every time she was happy to show me a new place that she loved, or go visit the county and check out some excellent wineries and breweries. On a personal note, that's where our first day was. It was actually in the county doing a winery tour, which is pretty standard, Jen. So that place will always have a very special place in my heart, and it does in her heart as well. So thank you guys for all of your support, and go Hawks.
Hi there. On behalf of Jen's family, I'd like to thank everyone who was involved in organizing this game and also in creating those beautiful jerseys that you can see the team wearing. It's a really fitting tribute. Jen was a lifelong hockey fan, especially junior hockey. She grew up rooting for her hometown Halifax Mooseheads and traveled to Sweden to go to the World Juniors and root on Team Canada. And she just followed hockey wherever she went and was always rooting for her beloved Montreal Canadiens. We really wish we could be there in person, but it's just not possible this year. So I'd like to remind everyone to stay safe, stay healthy, take care of yourselves, your family, and your communities, and then we can all be together again next year. So have a great game, and go Hawks. Go Snowbirds. Thank you.
When Jennifer moved to Trenton from Nova Scotia, we were all pretty excited here because it's just a 4-hour drive to Buffalo, and we knew we'd see her more. Jen was a huge Hip fan, and in the time that she lived in Trenton, she never missed a chance to go to a show that the Hip played down here. And in fact, I would usually find out the date they were playing when Jen would message me a screenshot of the Hip dates with the Buffalo dates circled. We're all pretty touched by this event, and on behalf of my wife, Veronica, Jennifer's brother and sister, Luke and Cosette, I'd like to express our heartfelt thank you to the Golden Hawks organization, the Tragically Hip, and to everyone else that has or will contribute to a scholarship fund that will hopefully go to a deserving student, armed with will and determination and grace too.
Good afternoon. I have great respect for our Snowbirds who took to the air to spread cheer across Canada earlier this year. Like many of you, I was heartbroken to hear of the tragic loss of Captain Jennifer Casey. She was a bright, energetic woman and a light in the Bay of Quinte community. We remember her fondly and thank her for her service. It's great to see the Trenton Golden Hawks and Wellington Dukes honor Captain Casey today alongside the fallen and surviving veterans of the Hastings and Prince Edward Regiment. May they never be forgotten, and best of luck today to both teams. Thank you for your service, and God bless.
Hi, Lieutenant Colonel Dennis Bandad from the Canadian Forces Snowbirds. I'd like to thank everybody in the arena for their support through 2020. I want to pass on to the players the best of luck in their game tonight. Remember to back check, forecheck, and keep your stick on the ice.
Royal Canadian Air Force. Losing Captain Jennifer Casey was like losing a family member. The fact that you are honoring her in this way is deeply moving. By renaming yourselves the Snowbirds, you've chosen to take on a name that represents everything that Captain Casey stood for. Everything that represents Trenton: courage, service, patriotism. Captain Casey exemplified a life of service to her country and her community. By wearing her name, you carry on that legacy. The RCAF motto is through adversity to the stars. It is a motto I live by, and all of you taking something tragic and doing something beautiful with it. You are living up to that motto too. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Colonel Chris Hadfield. I had the tremendous honor of being at Trenton throughout my military career. I was there as an air cadet before I even joined the Air Force. I brought airplanes in there many times, and one of the airplanes I brought in there was an F-86 Sabre, the airplane that was the basis of the Golden Hawks. And your team does tremendous honor to the legacy of that, to the memory of the Golden Hawk aircraft. But I was also lucky enough and had the honor to be a friend of Captain Jenn Casey. She was a delightful, wonderful person, one of those people that you look forward to meeting every time you get a chance to. And she died tragically, but doing something that she loved and something she believed in. And you again do great honor to change the name of the team for this game to the Trenton Snowbirds. Thank you for doing that. Thank you for honoring Jen, and we all miss her greatly.
There are also a number of special guests that were able to join us today. From Trent Valley Distributors, owner and title sponsor for the Hasty Peace Cup, Chris Auger. From the County of Prince Edward, Mayor Steve Ferguson. From the City of Quinte West, Mayor Jim Harrison. Bay of Quinte MPP and Cabinet Minister Todd Smith. Bay of Quinte Member of Parliament Neil Ellis. Chief Warrant Officer for Canadian Forces Base Trenton, Dan Bone. Commander for Canadian Forces Base Trenton, Colonel Ryan Deming. Also, coming from directly behind the Trenton Golden Hawks bench and their net will be the Highway of Heroes Mobile Memorial. There's veterans carrying it out, Daryl Waters and Ryan Isbister, bringing out the Highway of Heroes Memorial, which goes around the country to remember those who have lost their lives and those who have served. Remembering the Highway of Heroes starts right here in the Bay of Quinte region.
A touching tribute to a wonderful person, Jenn Casey. Her friends and family will be on the minds of everybody involved in this afternoon's Game 7 of the Hasty Peace Cup here from the Duncan MacDonald Community Gardens in Trenton.
When we pitched the proposal to them, they said, how can we help? They donated a jersey to us that is going to be part of the auction as well, and I know we're going to be talking more about that later, but it was just an easy fit.
What's your connection with Captain Jenn Casey professionally?
So first met Jen when her and her partner at the time moved into the area. He was in the military and she was a broadcaster after she left 95.7 in Halifax. She came to the radio station and just was saying, you know, I'm here if there's anything I can do. And of course, she was quite talented, so she jumped right in right away and worked in the community, worked at the radio station, but had bigger aspirations, and she grew into getting into the military. She learned French right away, and she became a lieutenant right away, and then into the captaincy. She was a public affairs officer very quickly, went from CFB Trenton into the Canadian Forces CF-18 demo team, and then of course on to bigger and better things with the Snowbirds.
And with all the messages we saw from dignitaries at the top of the show, a really moving and fitting tribute for her as such a big hockey fan.
Yeah.
So walk us through these Trenton Snowbirds jerseys. We have seen Mayor Jim Harrison's wife, Jane, cheering on quite emphatically and known to be such a giving person. So I hope that the bid goes as high as we possibly can, because where's the money going?
Yeah, the money's going to be going to support our troops. We had an opportunity to talk with Jen's mother, Rose, and her stepfather and her father, her boyfriend, Captain Scott Boyd as well. And what we wanted to do is have the money go as far as it could, and people have been so generous, just saying, how can we help? We want one of these jerseys. And it kind of caught fire. It was one of those things. I really think what came down to, Lindsay, is that 2020 has been an awful year. I mean, there's been so many tragedies, so much difficulty, that I think people were looking to grab onto something, and because of Jennifer's personality, I think it was a no-brainer for people. They were able to see what she brought to life, what she brought to the Snowbirds, what she brought to her family and friends as well.
So for folks interested in bidding on these jerseys, where can we all go?
So we still have a few of them left, and they're on our Trenton Golden Hawks Facebook page. Some of them are in some pretty competitive bidding. I think we saw Julia Jacobs' jersey between $750 and $1,000, which is wonderful. But at the same time, we've got a couple more jerseys we're going to put up tomorrow, and those are special jerseys with our second intermission guests, Miss Emily Fennell Taylor, Miss Emily from Prince Edward County, and Gord Sinclair and Paul Langwa of the Tragically Hip. They're going to help us out here on your TV in the second period, so they helped us out with some signatures as well.
And Tim, let's go to that video that you shot earlier this week with Miss Emily and the Tragically Hip in tribute to Jenn Casey.
song we're going to dedicate to Captain Jennifer Casey, Gen 3. She was very kind to Gord over here and seemed like a great person in general. Got some hit lyrics tattooed. She was a big fan, and we're big fans of hers. It's for her friends and family too.
Someone standing in a killer's place. 20 years for nothing, well that's nothing new. Besides, no one's interested in something you didn't do. Please,